Hello, this is Saul. I said yesterday or the day before when I was on that I wanted to try to get back on the horse here and streaming more reliably. So here I am. It's Monday, December 1st, around 2 p.m. I am a few minutes late. I had some setup issues here, and Wombat, of course, needed to be here in his Snuggie. He's pretty happy. But my main reason I was slow is that I had found, cleaning up my office the other day, a USB drive. And I was like, oh, what's on this thing? And I plugged it in and I had instant read errors and nothing worked. And I was like, well, shoot, what the heck is this? And there's nothing labeled on. It's a Sabrent thing. Actually, I can kind of show it in front of the camera here. Here, Wombat, move over a little bit. So here's the device. It just says Sabrent on it. It's like just kind of small, and it's got a USB-C plug on it. Wombat can be on camera now. And anyway, so I wound up, I'm like, well, let's see what's inside this thing. It's been sitting in storage for quite a while, so I was trying to figure out what even size disk there was in there. So I opened it up. I have a special screwdriver, one of these hex star jobbies. And I opened it up to find out there is literally no hard disk in there, no SSD. So it's just an enclosure for an SSD that has no SSD in it. No wonder it didn't show up as anything when I connected it. So that's kind of handy to have laying around, but I probably should label it a little bit better. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but that was one of the reasons that I was a few minutes late. So on Saturday, what we were doing here, was making a queue for basically a max number of processes that can be running at a single time. And so we added this max procs option. Let's see, do I actually have this? No. So yeah, so I haven't committed this yet, but I added an option, max procs, and then a little bit of a queued func mechanism here. And basically this is tied into asynccache. I feel to tie into other things here too, but the idea is just that it runs some number of threads. Well, so I was basically using this with a playlist here. And the idea was that I wanted to just run a command YTDL over every ID. And again, when I ran this previously over 200 rows, it would launch 200 processes. That's not acceptable. So now it has a queue of processes it wants to launch, and then launches 10 or so at a time. And it actually does work. And so I downloaded all these files and showed that off. There is a slight issue here. If we run this, well, there's two issues. One is that it takes a few seconds to get started. Not that big a deal. The other one is this here, where it just dumps trash to the screen. And so I kind of want to spend a few minutes anyway looking into this. I think it's standard error because it's just an error message here. And so this is happening because there's this fail case here. Now I could remove. I was thinking about removing this fail case, and that's actually where I stopped on Saturday. Was thinking about this this failure case, and if I wanted to remove this entirely or change it somehow. So the idea, and I have this old issue here. I even made a comment on it. I think I made a comment on it. Let's see. No, not. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I ran into an issue. Only blocks new threads with saved threads active. That's probably the best solution overall to this in general, is to make sure that we're blocking new threads if we're saving. So you're not going to be saving in the middle of making other changes. Otherwise, we can allow more. I think the earlier solution to this was a little heavy-handed. But nevertheless, it shouldn't be clobbering the screen output like this. And I thought I'd been pretty rigorous about not clobbering scrap. I'm not quite sure where this stuff is coming from here. So yeah, that's the main issue. I think that's the first issue I want to look at today. And if I can fix this, then I can get this committed, and at least then it can be sitting in there and have and be available for people to use, including myself. I mean, I probably can check it in now as it is, but this is pretty ugly, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Now, the issue is that I can only see this output here. It's not showing up as an error, it's not being captured, and I can't easily see where it starts from, which is problematic. So I think it must be in this top level try func here. This is the main one that when you spawn a thread, it uses this function. And then it should be, look, if you look at here, and capture an exception, it should be exception caught for all these things. And so either the exceptions, either this function is not being called, or it's not capturing the exception, because I guess conceivably it's not a, I can base exception here and see if that does anything. I'm just going to go ahead and bomb out here. I just want to see if it's going to be causing this problem. Let me go to, is it underscore exit? Yeah. And I have sys imported. I can do that there. Good enough. Now, this will prove that it's not somehow a base exception, not exception thing. And my YTDL, by the way, isn't doing anything. It's not downloading because I've already downloaded these files. So luckily that's at least a good test. So I do this, and it should just bomb out instead of giving me that error. But I'm imagining I'm going to see the error. Well, it looks different. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that makes sense to me. It's not that. But then the question is, why isn't it catching the exception? Why is anything ever going to standard error? So let me do a quick grep for standard error here and see what we're on about. If we look deeper into main and shell, those are the main places that would be. Let's look at status bar here too. Standard error, this is status, if not curses enabled. So potentially, we're gonna exit out here too. And I'm just trying to find out the place that this might be happening. So we're exit there. Let's try it as we go along. Oh, the initial messages. Okay. So it's OS exit actually. But okay, can you even do that? We might not be able to. Let me message. We're gonna put gobbledygook or just foo here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do this. Just gonna do that and add a little message there and see if we see a foo. If we do, then we're in this path. I see no foo here. Okay, and there's the foo there. Okay, so I'm gonna put it at the end of it too. Bar. And I'm just trying to make sure where this thing might be happening. I doubt that it's here. Yeah. I mean, it really seems like it must be. status. Is it going through there? I don't think so. I don't think it is. And I think that in fact if we take this message away, we're going to see the same message. We shouldn't see anything at this point. Well, just the foo in the bar. Yeah, we still see the message. So, in fact, okay, so it's not that. So it's definitely not coming in this path here. So what did I look at? We're looking at the shell. That was status bar. We're going to look at shell and main now. Let's do shell first. Standard error. Here's exec shell. This is when we're actually executing an actual command. I probably, well, I guess I should be, at some point I should be writing async thread through the same mechanism that I had. Oh, and no one's using exec shell. Well, look at that. It's just dead code. Huh. Well. Okay. I think I should probably add a command for this. I'm not going to play with it right now, but well, I'll make a note. I'll make a note here. I think that the correct thing to do for this case is probably to add a command for exec shell. And it'll be pretty simple. I mean, it's just all the stuff for adding a command. Exec shell add command. You know, you got to put it in the help in the menu and add a help string and test it out. And, you know, it's work. Okay, so let's look at standard error some more here. Add shell columns. Here's our column shell. It actually does it. Now, again, it's catching the exception. Yeah. Let's just try this. Where else do I have a standard error? I mean, I'm kind of just file type rather than using that. Oh, okay, so this is it. So I guess there's a chance that the same thing we were talking about earlier could happen here. Boom, and no. So that's not it either. And then so main is our last trace for standard error here anyway. And so this is output progress. This is if we're in, there shouldn't be anything anyway. There shouldn't even be using this here. Oh, this is if we're in batch mode. Yeah, okay. That's not it. Print error. That's interesting. Maybe there is a separate case for that. Nope. This is all after it's bombing out. So that's it. Okay, so we don't have any explicit calls to standard error. Something's leaking through. So why would this error message be leaking. Now, ideally, what I would be able to do is see the actual full message, full error message, the stack trace, and have it be coherent so that I could look at the stack trace and at least find out who's calling what at the very top of it. So maybe what I do is instrument this and dump it out to a file. I feel like there might be an easier way, but if I dump this out to a file, every error that we get, but the thing is, I don't think we're getting an error. I mean, I don't think that visidata itself is receiving the error. I think we kind of just proved. And so it's more about what, how is it getting around it? I feel like since it must be happening, it must be getting around this try func here. I mean, here's exec async. Yeah. I'm going to try this one more time and look at the threads sheet. It's Control T. And that'll show us all of the... Okay. Well, every time it runs a batch here, it's causing an issue. It's still trying to run more. If I kill this... Oh, I see. If I press Control C, it maybe should clear out this queue instead of only killing the ones that are active. Okay, I'm going to try this here. And we're going to only run this over these. Is that going to work? Getting an error? Oh, hey, Anya. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, I see back, exactly. So what we're doing right now is just a little bit of investigation. Okay, so basically, when I run this, hey, I'll share this with you as long as you're here. When I run this command, the whole point of this is I can run a command over any number of rows, a shell command, and it's a convenient way. It's kind of like a convenient for each. And so I run this shell command, which is downloading the YouTube video or something, and then after a few seconds, it gives me all this bunch of errors. It bombs out the screen, or it blows up the screen. So I'm trying to find out, well, why this is happening and how to prevent it. Like we should be catching all of these errors. So yeah, and actually this is a pretty clear stack trace right now. Top level try func, run to capacity, run, etc., exec async, and then we're in there. It says we can't. But like I said, I don't understand why this is showing up as on the screen instead of being forwarded to our exception catching mechanism. Like, why isn't this? If we're in. Oh, wait. Well. Oh, we're outside of this. That's the issue. This. Okay. So this run to capacity. I figured it out, everybody. So this run to capacity here, basically there's no exception handler in this top level try func now. Oh, well, at this point anyway, because here's where it is. So how do we move this up here after the status, or inside the same try block, or we have a separate try block here? And so I think I'm just going to do that. exception as E, and we will set exception caught. Okay. Now, let's try running this again here. Okay, and now we're going to get these errors as actual sidebar. There we go. Okay, still running calculate. So this is the real issue. I don't actually understand how it's making progress given this. It's still running here. I believe that it is stopping us from running more threads because some are already running. Any thread's already running. And yeah, so it seems like that's going to be only running one at a time. So it might be that this is not as very resilient here if we do the run to capacity thing. I think that it's thinking, well, it says it's still processing. Oh, I see. Now it's going to be launching more and more. Well, I don't quite like it. We can maybe put like an indicator of how many functions are in the queue. Maybe I should do that. But at least this cleans it up. So that, I think, this might be, well, it's not quite shippable, is it? Because it needs to, it's only shippable once we have this fixed up here. Let me at least do it out here. Sure. No, not active procs. Oh, interesting. I think I don't need Schlecks. Do I? Okay, there we go. That. Yeah, no, I don't want that still. Okay, I have to, no, yes, I have that. So I believe I've got some extra crap in here. So that's, okay, so this is back to normal now. Now we have just this one issue here, which is, as I was saying, it's stopping us from launching additional threads on the sheet. And the threads should be associated with the sheet because, I mean, they're part of the sheet, they're on the column. But again, we either want to not do that, maybe limit the number of threads to some, I'm not going to bother with that. Yeah, I think I'm going to commit this for now. And this is at least modestly better. I'm going to add that. No, I won't do that for now. But let me do a simple review here. And this is going to be, so max procs, max threads, this should be max threads. Max procs. So let's do that. And then, yeah, now we have this simple queue that is a little janky, but asynccache, I believe, is only used in that one place anyway. So we're kind of improving the shell execution engine. So it's shell, add options, max threads. That's kind of it. For add call shell. Okay. And then Yeah, as long as I'm here, and this is the thing, I think I should fix this here, change this so that it's here. So the deal is that we are trying to force saving, or rather, it's the same issue as we had down here. Right? Basically, it bombs out when you quit the program, but you want to make sure that you're done saving everything before you quit. Of all things, you can quit anything in the middle of doing something, like in the middle of whatever 18,000 threads you've got. But if you're saving something, you definitely want to wait. And I think that's it's the only real case, is, for now anyway. Maybe we have like a note on a thread that is like must finish or something. But for the moment, must finish is this. Actually, I will add I'm putting in unfinished threads here. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna add a function must finish that does this. Must finish thread T. And all that's going to be is must finish thread to threads. Threading thread. And so this is actually, I think maybe it should be a DPI. And I'll put this in threads. It could be in save, but this is fine for now. I think I'm going to leave this, I don't know. Anyway, the real issue is that this will work anyways, but I need to block it only if must finish thread first. Is that true? Is this a must? Am I really looking at here? Must finish thread. It's not a must finish thread. It's a nothing happening at the same time thread. Solitary thread? Gosh. Okay, well. So all of this, basically, if there are any must finish threads, or must saver threads anyway. If saver threads maybe it's just saver. If there's anything saving, is that really all? That's that simple? How do you get a larger data set here? And Yeah, I think so. I'm going to review this bug while we're here, this issue. And let's see here. Saving a large file, deleted some selected rows. Right. So it's yeah. Oh, read. Anya. I'm revisiting this 1148. Well, thanks for asking, Anya. I'm revisiting this issue 1148 because first of all, I think that the solution we had here has been causing a little bit of problems, just kind of in general. People are a little bit, it's kind of irritating to like not be able to search twice or not be able to search while you're in the middle of deleting a thread, for instance. And so maybe making it a little less heavy-handed. The main case is super, I think, important. That because saving is in a thread, if you delete while saving, you're going to have a bad time. And so this heavy-handedly fixes this. And so this was a few years ago, 4+ years ago. Wow. And so it's kind of like we decided to fail modifying commands if there's a save in progress. And I went ahead and went much bigger than that. Oh, geez, like a whole, almost 2 years later. Wow. Anyway. Yeah, sort failure. Glad for all of this history we've got here. Oh, interesting. So we also have to make sure that whatever we are doing, it's like loading and saving. Maybe it is trickier than I think. And there's definitely this one where we can do multiple toggles. But if you do multiple toggles, you know, I wonder if the real answer is exactly what we've been working on, except for instead of being 10 max threads, it's 1. We only allow 1 extra thread, and then we have a queue with everything, so you can kind of like put things into that queue and then run them async. So you still have the interface thread and as many other spawning commands that you want, but they just run one at a time. And as long as that's reliable, that's kind of great. So actually, yeah, maybe that is the answer. And then that would simplify a lot of things. We're going to be looking at, so what was it? There was a, run the command. Oh, that was right. There was like a next commands. Is it next commands? Next commands. What is that? Q command. Oh, Q command. Okay. So that the next commands is for actual literal commands. Let's see here. That's in command line. Next commands. And this is all for replay. And so I wonder if we can either reuse this or if it's similar to it. It's like next threads, or it's one step different than next command. Next command is a whole command row. It's like just execute this thing. And maybe we could do that. If there's anything running, we throw it into next commands. That's kind of not the worst, is it? Okay, so we can think about that. Basically, if something's running, instead of failing, we say command execute. That's interesting. If we do this, if she is not known, then instead of failing, we do, oh, this is a function though. We can't do it at this point. Right, okay, so we're being a little too clever here. We need to okay, last command threads. Is that right? Yeah, last command threads. I see. This, I had not, yeah, I need to, threads and launch threads if they're in the same command. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is make it so that the commands, sorry, I both want to fix the underlying issue and think about this exact thing, and maybe I can just paper over it. Now, the other thing is that maybe this is a read-only thread versus a write thread issue, so that, you know, if we indicate that these getters are, you know, the async cache mechanism, all those threads are read-only, then it shouldn't matter. You can do whatever. It's also tempting as a core mechanism. If only read-only, I'm sorry, only read-write threads, only modifying threads are blocked. So yeah, it's going to be a bigger, well, it'll be a small change here. In general, if we have an async, how do we indicate that this is a read-only operation? We can pass it through. We can basically annotate the commands, like search, as read-only, and then I may even have that in here. Let's find out. Okay, I'm not using Let's just select search. We don't have any kind of flag here yet. We could have flag here. These commands, so it makes telling our system that they're read only. And all of these searches here would be marking that, because I think we can consider cursor movement as read only. But so we basically forward it on to the thread. So whenever we're launching a new thread with async thread, we're looking at the command that it started, the active command, and then we're going to mark the thread as read only. I think we want to, yeah, so here we go, if thread, if read only. Let's make it the underscore read only here. If get read only. Actually, let me do this. Yes. Not read only. And then we will in asynccache, pardon me. And so this one, we're actually going to, this is in capacity, I can set the counter here. And then we're going to have a read only equals false here. Set it on here. Wait a second. Oh, we're not. Oh, something got broken in here because we're not actually assigning it to the result. So, yeah. That's mandatory. But then it has to actually run this. Yeah, so we're going to run it, and we're going to create a new function. Let's do this. Async. Let's sync, I guess. And this is going to actually run set.run sync. With the only set.run. Okay. I'll solve a couple of problems here. So then if exec async gets the read only, not read only. Okay, so I'm hoping that if I run this here and try to run this command, we're not going to see any errors. No, that's not fault. Oh, that's a popper. Okay. Well. Always pop it to get out of the. There's a chance that you can't do a fault parameter to pop. Okay. So this is good. There we go. And it's still the same problems as earlier. And before we can just change it all, that you have to look at touch each one of these in order for it to want to execute it. And the way that I would do that is just run Shift F on it. And you could scroll down to what Shift F would do this thing. Oh, well, that's handy. 114 objects? 2. Okay, it might just be working, taking its time. Because, yeah, I think it's just working. Okay. So I'm going to, in this processing, I got this processing thing. Text in, oh, I see, it's just a generic term. Well, we're going to put on the status bar somewhere anyway. Like, I think it should be in there too, in the gerund or gerund area. Maybe I can write in the status bar here. And we're just going to put a number of things in here in the queued functions, queued funcs. And so that's going to be here in processing. Yeah, progress percent, and then we're going to add another one here. It's going to be working, and this is going to be the number of queued funcs. Length of that. Queue funcs for right now, anyway. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let me actually share my grep for my let's see. Oh, for the bytes. Yeah, okay. That's just lag. Okay, so if we run this now again, oh, I do want to take care of that in here. Thread status, okay, because it's not ES, but ED. And I do want to make sure that we're not, these processes aren't sticking around. Already on queue funcs, okay. And so, there's an issue, oh, look at that. Gone. Here we go. So what is it doing? It's processing them. Let's see if it actually does get all the way down how far it goes down. Shoot everything. So it does take a little bit. But that's not, I mean, that's just the amount of time it's taking to do the work, right? Like, we just don't want it to throttle the system by running every command all at once. Yeah, this is... Aside from this, let's call it Q functions. No. Q depth, what should we call it? Seems palatable anyway. And then by the time we come to the bottom, sorry, 0, then it should just finish. We should be able to scroll down and see we've got everything. All the commands to finish running. There should be nothing else that's not. Boom. 1, 2, 1, go. And no. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, great. So there's no more functions queued. And look at that. Okay, so that's actually working out really well. You know what? I think we're going to call that. So we're going to add that. We're going to add this read-only-ness. We're going to assume that everything in asynccache is read-only. It's a little bit weird. Maybe. I can ditch that. And then this one. This is the actual main functionality. Okay. So I'll check out this here. And okay, so what we did was make it so that, there we go, comment here, threads. Yeah. Okay. And I think is this correct? You know, I'm going to just inline this here. I'm going to tag this as 48 again here. Additional context. This is going to be introducing the concept of read-onliness. Read only block. You know, okay, hold on a second. First of all, I should reset all this stuff here. There's really only the one change on it first, which is this. No, well, I can't split that, can I? No, yes, yes. That's necessary. That's going to be part of this previous command. Now, we've got, and maybe I should even do this one here. this is, you know, add status. Add number of feed plus status requests. Now we're going to add the read-onlyness to it. So this is only prevent new threads only if not read-only. If not read-only. Asynccache read-only is true. Okay, and there we go. So that is this issue. Let me fix this up here. Pick this up. I think that's legitimate. And then that pops this thread here. Done. I'm not going to worry about the startup 3 seconds for that. I mean, it's not ideal, but I think very few people are using it, and for the functionality you get, it's actually pretty okay. And yeah, we fixed the main issue, which is the clobbering. So I'm glad I found that, because that was introduced in this calling this run to capacity. Okay, so I've got a little extra time here. I think I'm just, I don't have anything else planned. I've got plenty of things to do, but I haven't actually made plans for the day here. The plan is to look at visited issues. Now I have to grab my USB key here, my security key and tap it so I can log in. Okay, let me plug this in. Yeah, do it. Okay, so here we are, back to business. We've got some open pull requests. Pull requests always take priority. And let's do just a little bit of browsing here. So I'm going to look, there's a couple of PRs that have already been approved by me. I think I was waiting for a little bit of testing. Let me investigate these things myself. So this one is pretty straightforward and limited to MySQL. So I think I'm just going to take it and trust picky stay. So yeah, oh, and that's right. Here's this. Right. If there's no password, if there is a password, then you just otherwise yeah. Okay. Great. No problem. Thank you, picky stay. And let's rebase that and just one commit. Done. Yeah, these are the easy ones. We're going to do some low-hanging fruit here. Fix undo of the first user alteration. Oh my gosh. I gotta say, MIDI Chef has done some great work on visidata here. He's, well, I should say they are one of the main contributors at this point. Fixed a lot of interface issues, cleaned a lot of things up, and I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Zoom in here. Yeah, the small polishes right on you. Like there's big issues that are not fun to fix necessarily, but they're at least, they're big issues. There's a lot of little things that I never would have gotten around to that MIDI Chef has has fixed. And yeah, and I think that's the case always, Anya. Anya says the more niche his bug fixes are, the better I feel about it as a whole. That's certainly true. It's those little things that can make you trust or not trust the software. So this is the advantage. There was somebody else recently who had made a new table viewer, I think it was in Go, and they posted to Reddit, and of course people comment and mention visidata, and then this person said, "Oh, yeah, visidata is great, but it does everything. I wanted something that just does one thing." And that's great. I actually appreciate that. I think there should be more tools that do small things like that. But visidata started out like that, in fact. But then as you maintain software, it grows, accumulates features, and accumulates use cases, and if you live long enough, you live to become the villain, right? And here we are. But then that maintenance work is the thing that makes you into a long-standing tool. I mean, visidata probably would just be, we'd be a tenth or 100th of the usage that it has if we had stopped 8 years ago and not done any more with it. And here we are. Now we have more people doing stuff on it. So let's get this committed here. Replay command log. Modify the sheet. Try to undo it. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, okay. This is a quite a little case here. Okay, I see. This is only in this. That's fine. We're just going to take it. Makes sense to me. One commit. Erase merge. Done. Thanks, MIDI Chef. MIDI Chef. I don't think anyone's going to understand that reference. That's okay. First person to tell me where that came from gets a free visidata sticker. Okay, so I said thanks, MIDI Chef. MIDI Chef. Okay, let's look at, I think I have another more recent comment from MIDI Chef on this, which I'll look at, I guess, a little later. Let me fix that. Okay, let's just look at this one here. This is a very minor issue. It's actually only docs, documentation. And this person, I think, Rambit, I see it. This is the bug here. They got stymied because they thought that there was that the internal clipboard and the external clipboard were the same. And they're not. There's an internal clipboard and an system clipboard. And I guess it's obvious to me, but that's because I grew up with Linux and also I wrote this damn thing. And then, yeah, internal clipboard is an idea that Rambit suggested. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And I have to say that when I was implementing this clipboard, the internal clipboard stuff in visidata, I kind of just made it work. I mean, I had some grand notions, and then it turns out that you want different things, different uses, like copying cells and copying rows, and are different. They are actually, and so I made them independent, and then now I'm making up this content that they are independent. It's a subtle detail. To my mind, it doesn't matter. Like, you shouldn't be copying cells and pasting that as a row, or vice versa. But maybe that's very confusing. So, okay. So there's a much deeper issue here that we have to investigate or think about, which is how we actually explain these things. Copy current row to internal clipboard. Let me pull this up. I'm going to do a little bit of writing on the fly here. It may not be the most interesting development, but it is necessary. They suggest copy current cells to internal clipboard, or paste internal clipboard rows. Maybe we shouldn't call it the clipboard. Clipboard is distinctly a system thing here. Storage, register, row, clipboard, row memory, row, what would be the right? Scratch area? To row scratch? Let me try this. I'm gonna modify these. I'm gonna submit a PR and ask people's feedback and reference these two. So we're gonna do this to row scratch area, row scratch, scratch row, temp row, like that. Paste scratch rows. Let's see, I think he's right that there are scratch rows, scratch rows, paste scratch rows. Let's try this. Yank to scratch rows. I'm gonna ditch this yank also. I think that's way old school, and it's kind of a good mnemonic for people who are used to, trying to figure out what Y means, but I think it's just confusing us here. Copy current cell to scratch cells. To last. To scratch cell to now. Last clipboard value. So it's just this. To scratch cell. This is really the flip valve here. Okay. And so clipboard. Copy row. Copy the current column. Selected rows to scratch cells. And this is to scratch cell. I don't like that. System clipboard. Yeah. And so clipboard, and move it to scratch rows. Okay, copy. The set call clipboard is the only one that is not sysclip here. Otherwise, I think everything that's mentioned the clipboard in the menu are actually the system clipboard. So. Okay, so here's a proposal for these. So basically the idea is that we're changing the notion of the internal clipboard to scratch rows, cells, or cell? Clip rows, clip column, clip cells. Yeah, it is complicated, I know. Let's see here, so how do we get clip cells? Scratch cells. I could call them clip cells, and that way at least it's like internally consistent, and everybody knows, oh, that's clip cells, that's clip val, clip rows, and they can kind of follow along even if it's not clear at the outset. I think that is actually the best solution here. And it doesn't actually solve scratch, you should call it scratch clip cells. You can do that. Documentation is hard. Slash clip rows. Clip val, and that solves that problem. Okay, let's try this then. How does this seem here? So copy current row into scratch clip rows, and then scratch clip rows is kind of like its own concept that mirrors the. And the only issue here is this copy cell is probably not correct anymore. Set cells, current column. I'm looking at set call clipboard. Last word I had incorrect. Set call clipboard here. Set call clipboard. The cells, so I think I should be. It's not clip val. Clip cells. That was a documentation bug. And then, yeah, I think scratch clip cells and clip val and clip rows is kind of reasonable. Cell memory. Here we go, let's see here. How about row memory? How about scratch clip val? So I want to make sure that these are scratch pads with the results of a single copy in them and can't be added to. Yeah, can't be added to. I'll submit this as a PR here. Actually, I'm going to use a branch. Branch. This is for copy help. Copy upstairs. Use help bugs. That's 465, I guess. Okay. So now I'll push these here. Let me push that. I set a value. I'll set up remote. I'll fix that. Okay. And so that's be pushed. And if I do this, these are all legit. Yep. And I'll push those out. And rebase. Push them out. Then we will see about the pull request. I think I can just use the command line to do this too, but Okay. So, how about scratch the file, etc. Okay, let's try this, and I'll tag people. Let's see here. Should be. Great. Okay, so that's that one. I think I'm going to leave everything open for the moment on that. See what people have to say. And that's at least a couple of things merged and at least one PR responded to. So, yeah, I see there are a couple of people here, as it seems like there are. If anyone is here, I'd love to say hi to you. Thinking about passing out or leaving the live stream for the moment and going off and working on another little piece that I have to work on. But if anyone's here and wants me to keep doing these, I can do one or two more. I'm gonna see if we get any responders here. I'm just curious. I mean, I see. It looks like there are actually a couple of people here. I think Anya might still be here. And if so, like I said, say something. Yeah, sure, I'll manage. But my energy is fluid. I'm mostly curious to see if anyone else is even here and listening, or for some reason, maybe it's me. Maybe I have like a second account that's watching the live stream somehow on my other computer or something. Oh, I guess I could think about what I want to do next here. Let me look at this feature. Here we go. Highlight search. So yeah, Frozen Krantz commented on this one. Okay, I think that Chef has not pushed more recent commits here yet. So we'll wait for that. And let's see here, what else we got? I commented on that one recently. Creating a contributor. Justin had an issue here. Okay, then we're waiting on contributor. I'm gonna go ahead and set that here. Do that actually. Waiting on contributor tag. Perfect. And then confirm and exit. I'm not sure if this one's going to make it in there. I'm not sure that. Yeah, this might be. See how we. Done. So we're going to contribute this one. Labels, waiting on computer. And let's browse an older. Oh, let's look at this one. I just, in fact, well, this might be an issue. Okay, I may have broken this, and if so, I apologize. Maybe Chef, let's see how we can look at this here. Okay, I see. So this is literally yeah, I think my fix will also address this in a different way. Oh, never mind. I do have to do this. Okay, well. Let's see here. I want to give maybe Chef credit for it. What's the conflict though? It seems like it should be fine. Okay, well, it's fine. Can I set a merge conflict? Okay, I'll stop. So this is, I think it's just this. Oh, I have to do this T equals Q. Okay, that's legit. Nothing else changes. Okay, I believe that's the answer. So mark resolve. I just save it. Does that work? Can I see it? So look like. Merge. Okay, this is going to the Chef's branch. And now fun stuff. So files change. Okay. This is legit. Okay, thanks. The Chef will take it. And conversation, merge. We're gonna squash it, I think. What? No, it's not conflicts. Okay, so I'm gonna call it now after a couple more issues here, after I see this working, and then I'll squash and merge, I think. I don't want to squash 2 commits, but not the 3rd one. Yeah, Anya, you approve squash and merge? I think in this case it's fine. Like, I gotta have them be 2 separate commits, but they are. You'll see them. There's 2 of them here. One of them is to add the in two different places. You know, it's this thing here that checks the column names, and there's this atomic right. So the headline one is this. This is a little ad thing. I'm going to squash it though. They're distinct, but they're not. It's not a big deal. One is in there. Yeah, ideally it would be distinct, but okay. Squash and merge. Boom, boom, boom. Do it. And great. I don't know that. Is this the merge conflict? Good. Awesome. Okay, well, there you go. So we got those. We're making some good progress. I'm hoping to use this time, it's just an hour or two every day, to fix some things in visidata and make it better. I mean, you shouldn't have as many open pull requests as we do, at least ones that are laying around for months and months. And then I can start tackling some issues, just kind of one at a time, just being diligent, at least figuring out what has to be done with it. So, that is all for today. I'm going to peace out, and I am planning on being here tomorrow at 2 p.m., same bat time, Pacific. Thanks, Sonia. I think this is it's wonderful to see you here. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, see you all next time. Cheers.